Joseph Tamale Mirundi omukuku na buwali Nobert Mao wa kibiina kya Democratic Party wiki ewunzikidde olunaku lwali lwakutaano ne batwala empapula ez'emikono gyabwe bagamba bakunganyiza obukadde bubiri millions biri ez'abantu abasemba Nobert Mao okwata bendera ya Democratic Party kuba president wa Uganda. Of course bakitwala Electoral Commission yali abasaba baleete empapula ezo emikono egibasemba ng'obudde bukyali tebakikola bagitwala lwakutaano Saturday, Sunday, John Monday. Tetunawulira kanyego konna kuva mu Electoral Commission tyobe emikono gya Mao bagiverify. Mao agamba agenda kusaba musango
nabagamba nti bw'olaba omukazi n'alonga adduka mu loogi ng'omusajja amulemeredde embeera yatetawaana.
N'alongo wadduka mu loogi lwa musajja gwe omuwala talabaga ku musajja toyingira loogi.
N'olaba ng'empologoma ekisolo ki empologoma edduse empisi neyimirawo ng'ekyayimiridde. Then it must be a stupid impisi.
Yes.
Kakati mwe mbabuuliza ekyagobye Besigye mu ffumbiro abo ba Mao tubamanyi. The man accuses Mao that when Mao realized that Bobi Wine was going to lead the DP bloc and the people power, he reported the matter to the president.
Mao?
Ne mabike. Kakati aba Mao bayisa bivulu abo mbaleke. Those ones CV I was once DP esigaddewo contested the president sebiki abusine kyembabalamu.
Mao ajja kuba president kyekiyinza okubaawo kikyali
embaga tebula kumperekeze
omulabanga mperekeze.
Yes.
Mao yakulembera ekibiina ekisinga obulungi mu Uganda.
Yes.
The oldest political party.
Yes. Abo ba Mao bajja ali. Mao came when they are young. Okay. This is why Bobi Wine has received an upper hand. He's a new person.
Is it about new faces or the ideas that come?
Floating until retire. Bible against Ginger Bareka would have to extend the baptism until the Alisano Kibaki was criticized. But to extend the Bagante Kibachi Afge Gwanga. A transition. Tajapu America Nayariaba de Menteco. So politics is not predictable.
You don't see Mao making a spiritual difference in this point.
And what has he added? Because the problem they have is that Baba Wangula Baganti Baba BA. Toganti Bakubia, even you Cooper stupidity.
Okay.
Kakati, what has failed Mao in all of his earlier bids? What the other time he stood up when the party was still intact. Today is in
shambles.
Yes. Kakati ufugo oti ategwanga abaziba bakugamba obulenyala ufune swera. If you don't have a male organ to urinate, can you marry a woman? This one kills the other. Obulenyala
ufune swera. Tolina kitundu
kifuisa
ate onafuna
naye
kinawasa
nze nabagamba nawandika ku Bobi Wine nti soka tusome ku Bobi Wine bwe namuwandikako mukana akatabo ngamba buulira nti Bobi Wine mujja mmwe bajjagala
tubaita State House cast. As for Bobi Wine wentandikira okay. Kitabo kya mwami Mirundi kiyitibwa The State House cast ekikolimo kya makago president kanda
tekaliko date anti babuddamu.
As for Bobi Wine, page 76, Agamba. As for Bobi Wine, it seems has gone through what I call the embargo of politics. He came from nowhere and no one believed that he could turn out to be a strong opponent against Museveni. In my earlier submission, I stated that Museveni committed a blunder when he responded to Bobby's missives. What's more, government went on to block his music shows, which, as I have always urged, is meant to tame his financial base in order to undermine his participation in future politics of the country. The reason why many Ugandans see this treatment of Bobi Wine as harassment is because such measures were not subjected to Dr. Kizza Besigye. For instance, Besigye's petrol businesses, including his fuel stations, continue to operate normally, and at times government vehicles refill from there. Besigye's petrol station. His farm has never been raided by security operatives, and even when he was accused of alleged involvement in subversive activities, his businesses continue to operate normally. Whenever Dr. Besigye and his hooligans are arrested, they are quickly released. It is on record that he was the first Ugandan to be granted bail on treasonable cases. It is this soft attitude towards Dr. Besigye that has exposed him as a mole and contributed to Chagulanyi's popularity. So continue the one. lwaki olowooza nti abantu balowooza kino ku mwami Besigye
anti Kyagulanyi bwe yajja he was treated differently from Besigye.
Okay.
Yes, because I analyze why should soldiers, you don't see Mugisha Muntu being tear gassed, you don't see Mugisha Muntu being mishandled by the security forces, not because I cannot think that he is a moral. The way he conducts himself, a general is a general. He is highly speaking, he commanded the army for 9 years. Kakati Besigye yebwe yajja yatandika na violence tebagikwatako
ne bamuleka.
Kakati Bobi Wine bwajja nemuteekako force y'amaanyi tajja kuyimba cause COVID ne bakusasira agenda obagaana okuyimba. They were punished by God. Kuba tebayamba munnaabwe balabanga egundi. No musician came up to condemn nti lwaki ono bamugaana okuyimba. God naaba bakusasira n'obubina bwabwe nabo tebayimba.
Katongera okusoma akatabo kano agamba another advantage that Kyagulanyi has is his political base, the young people or the youth. Unlike former presidential candidate Amama Mbabazi, who relied on quotes that called themselves NRM poor youth, Kyagulanyi's support in youth is based on their appetite for change. It later turned out that the NRM poor youth in quotes were looking for money, and the moment they failed to get it, they all turned to Museveni with Amama's valuable information. In Kyagulanyi's case, the young people massively attend his musical shows, and not only attending but ready to pay entrance fees, unlike Amama's poor youth. Secondly, Bobi Wine has come at a time when a new political dispensation in the region is taking shape. The East African integration has provided much wider space for local politicians across the East African community. In the past, this practice could easily be regarded as subversion or interference in matters of politics of another country. This dispensation favors Bobi Wine in that he can sell his music across borders and get money. Bobi Wine may not only need to engage in vigorous campaigns, since the majority of young people in the country are yearning for change. However, this unusual support puts his political career in a precarious situation, since he risks losing all the support he has enjoyed in case he drops his presidential ambitions. He has enjoyed all this regional and international hype due to some avoidable mistakes committed by the Museveni government. More so, Uganda's violent history is characterized by a dented human rights record, which worsened during the days of Idi Amin. The now 4 years government of Yoweri Museveni has made several reforms. The international recognition that Uganda has achieved benefits Bobi Wine, since he is seen as a young man who has stood out to challenge Museveni's 35-year rule in power. Bobi Wine's ambitions have been further boosted by NRM's poor record of fighting corruption. Ironically, most of the money is stolen by the Mafiya, who do not care about Museveni's fall. One wonders how a committed person like Nachove can be fought. What the Mafiyas forget is that the population easily, especially the people that have been humiliated, are itching to pounce on them once Museveni leaves power. Finally, Bobi Wine is also supported by opportunistic forces, including Mengo. They strongly believe that by supporting Bobi Wine, Museveni will give them more concessions and bags of money. Their reasoning is partly correct, because what Museveni has given Mengo is already enshrined in the constitution, but they know that their influence to determine the outcome of a presidential election is dismal. Therefore, if a new president comes in, they will have an opportunity to negotiate new concessions. Bobi Wine bwatyo omukulu Kyagulanyi bwagamba, bwatyo omukulu Tamale Mirundi bwagamba mu katabo akayitibwa State House Curse, yakawandiika emyaka egiwerako emabega.
When I review my book,
yes,
one, the president has, unlike other past presidents, articulated the problems inside his palace,
okay, and
has handled it effectively. But Bobi Wine had already been benefited from the Mafiya gang. You cannot tell voters that Bobi Wine is an agent of the Mafiya gang.
It does not.
The fact that he fell out with them about Kibasanyusa, kakati Mafiya strategy yo yali egamba, let us invest in all opposition groups. Museveni nga tetumugyeewo naye nga ffe twongera ne tubba. Kakati that problem Museveni gyatuwonyeza okuba humiliatinga n'abawandiikisa written apologies nti what many African leaders fail to understand. When you pamper the generals, The sergeant does overthrow the government.
Okay.
The stressors, Captain Stresser, overthrew the government of General Joseph Mamo in Sierra Leone. Sergeant Do overthrew the government of Torobat, massively supported by American Negroes, by Liberia, Bagurangule. Kakati, the moment you pamper the generals, Banubakuamba, that's why Kanu Gaddafi remained at one rank. The reasoning is Tomusajjon Waba Sergeant, Nala Baba Gen Bafiri Maso, Ndichufunadi, Okufun Bafiri Maso, and Duachino. They are stealing from government projects like Kereya. You launch a manifesto. A manifesto means the first 10 pages, you say what you pledged in the last manifesto. Then you move to explain how you have implemented and why you have failed. Kakati President Museveni yagenda ne yewola $50 million zareya kusasanya masanyalazi nibazikuba ku
electrification agency,
because the president pledged that he will provide the power for 400 villages. Where are the villages?
It has not been delivered.
No. Even where they delivered, wires are aluminium. Done by the Chinese.
Okay.
Kakati dam nti mwabadde mugambo commissioning a dam olupapula lwa East Africa liro lwakubye damu yekaluma nti nfu ddala. To deny you any celebration.
There is nothing what
East Africa mbisoma wonna mbisoma kubanga analyze nimanya nti bano kati baba denying achievement. President nagenda yewola mu World Bank $400 million for the same purpose. It has taken 2 years. Nga kasayija abugutana na kubasenti. Kakati kitegeeza the manifesto. The only thing you have nti bano baba alowoza, let us steal money from government and sustain and maintain a weak opposition. We were going to have a headless revolution
in Uganda.
Ababana bemula babawerekera Bobi Wine tebatya tear gas. Why? You have not delivered. Bano strategy ya Mafiya ganga yo yabanga mu government. Era abasajja abo mwana wange professor yatudde ne munne chairman ne baga nti Mirundi atuyambye nnyo. We are no longer slaves.
Ba Mafiya.
Ba masters baffe tubadde tubagamba crude methods of stealing. Ne mukama wabo yabagambye we should stop crude methods. Ne bajja anti-corruption court oyo omulamuzi bajja mutwala kabanga lya America. Olumala okwa-identify nga mu kitongole mulimu ssente nga bakwata nga bakutwalayo omusango tegutambula. Bannasali baguwatudde baani babasosa wa musajja olaba mpulidde omulamuzi ayogera ebyekisiru ng'omwana omuto. I was going to be bribed. I rejected the bribe. No, you are an idiot. Why? The man is an idiot. Why didn't he accept the bribe?
Principal judge.
Allow them to bring a bribe.
And unite them. No,
he's stupid. That's a stupid argument. He's not stupid, but that is a stupid argument. Why don't you get a baby? Allow them to go to bring the money.
Unite them.
Atefaba nejefaba ino obwongo Katonda yatuyamba nnyo. Kati oyo musajja singa ino obwongo ngaffe bwe tulina ngenda mu banka gyalwanirira ne bamuwa $5 million ne zijja mu kiboksi n'aziraga abantu. Somebody has dropped money. Omanyite mu motoka yange basula mu million 2 ayoze motoka n'azitwala. They dropped $200 million in my car.
Ngabazikuteze.
Iba Mafiya nga bagamba mbundiyeko.
Nawe weberere.
Yeyoze motoka wo. Namanyuka nazo mugagga muzibu.
Tuli ku STV.
Toyiza ganti babadde bambula ibinga with this technology. Wali bayise toyogera byabugwagwa musajja respect your title. If you are not respectable, at least respect your title. Don't utter rubbish. Trick them and get the man and show us the man
for nomination. Naye mudakika ntono nyezi unzikiddwako tukitegeddeko nti emmotoka yefunyemu obuzibu omupiira ogw'oludda lwa drive ogw'emabega. That means ogw'omusabaze ku right hand side funyemu obuzibu. Bakola nteekateeka kulaba nti afuna.
Tayina ndala endala
anti nchali kunyonyola
government emuwe endala
ate nga tannatuuka
government emuwe endala
inagifunanga bamaze munominate
no emuwe rescue
rescue
omanyi mmwe mugenda
so kati embera eriwo emotoka bayimiddeo ku petrol station ya Shell petrol station somewhere ate babirenga batereza oboolya n'okufuna entambula eyinza okuba
omanyi
okweyongerayo
Sembabule waliwo omuvubuka yalemera kuhonalebo okuteesa nagati agenda mumuvuga yebamuyitanga tulyatemba yali talina sente musi enatwala ensawo y'obulo bamuwandiike
ensawo y'obulo
obulo the boy delivered ensawo y'obulo munfunire omuguzi that's what I have
yes
nomuga nti we cannot accept obulo
yes
kakati next time nze naye mukwano nnyo gwakuteesa kati abalabe be ne bawa omwana oyo sente kuteesa yabonaabona n'omwana musi yagwandikira ne electoral commission nti my opponent is not appearing at rallies kuba zaali joint mumujje mu declare me kakati ogwaddako tulyatembwa munne n'amusalya amagezi yamugamba omanyi twewandiise ku lunaku olusembayo n'amukwata n'amukwasa academic papers ze zonna baba bagenda okwewandiisa ono the man excuse himself n'ayingira ekisiko nti agenze kweyamba yawulya bodaboda ng'egenda tulyatemba was never registered
n'aviramu awo bwatu
waliwo omusajja yali avuganya Moyi Moyi bwe yayimiriranga ne baga nti 2 hours ziwedde tewali ewandiisizza there is a teacher an innocent teacher baddira academic papers ze bazitambulira mu pieces era naye ng'alinga Bobi Wine but we have been given freedom kati Bobi Wine should have a step in car
a backup car era ndooza bimu ku ebyo bigenda mu maaso n'okulabika n'emmotoka ye yakubiddwa akakebe ka tiya gas poliisi kubye tiya gas era ne gubanga gufunyemu obuzibu ogw'omusaabaze mabega
abaganda bakiyita kyeyagalire omanyi abaganda kyeboogera ku kyeyagalire abakazi abaganda baagala nnyo ebiseera mu bulago kati ebiseera ebyo can be artificially made oba naturally by God kakati ono atalina natural biseera yagendanga naddira enjola baziyita njola abaganda naddira bwakasoba oluwagi naluteeka mu kyoto nenyenyo kyako kati bwe yatananga nga abaganda baga nti ekyo kyeyagalire if God did not give you ebiseera and in the process of burning your body it has developed a serious wound
you invited that
you invited it yourself yes
okay wetuli mukwano gwange tugoberera ku TV tulino omukuku na Joseph Tamale Mirundi yonna gye musinzidde okubanga muli Tamale yatufunemuko ku bino byonna byonna olabye bagambye terirale terikine abantu bo babeerawo you don't need to invite these people but these are organic gatherings abantu bajja kulwa
tekitegeeza ekyo
kitegeeza ne lwale tezigenda kubaayo
tekitegeeza ekyo if mulimu ebibuuzo nze saabikolanga nga ebya ABCD sibikola
akajeeke nti sakolinga
why nti a question eri bweti A B C
londa kemu
nga kiri kimu ebyo ebibuuzo sibikola once you lose A you lose B you lose C bayinza n'obutagolola kakati the government lost the battle on COVID-19 initially the president had scared the situation the media in Europe and America had convinced society as the media shifted from scaling to coexistence gundi yonna yagwa gundi twali tuyimiriddewo ku America COVID ne bamubbiramu that's why because the people don't accept the COVID gyali as alarming as they are and the Dianas their changes are being punished by God nti abaana bazze mu ssomero have you seen ambulances returning them back home?
No.
I said by this we tested the entire families. We are talking about returning them without Ministry of Education SPOs because somebody had brought 2 million kits. Bubbi. Kakati kitegeeza ki ewayiga ne mulwanirayo nti nabagamba why do you fight over corpses like cannibals? Did you see me at Iga's place? Yes. I cannot fight Uganda to fight over cannibals. Museveni as long as the son. This man was in prison recently.
And nobody was caring.
Why do you put more attention to Iga, Pastor Iga, and Iginowa, one one umusirikali, about the deputy spokesperson of NRM?
Bantaliza.
Yenga simanyi omuwala yafiira mu accident yali mu mukono gundi mbidde bamukubira n'emizinga ejono giriwo.
The pomp and attention.
Yes. Abamu mwali kitaddemu ne mulinga mumusoma nti at one time this gallant son of mine who headed the political school at Kyangwanzi, we arrested him over fake claims that he had stolen a tractor. Ewange bamujjangayo mubisomanga nti twamuwako obutwe emirundi 3 oba temusomera ddala. Include it in your condolence message that we tried to poison this man 4 times. Nakyo mukisomeo baba bakubireyo. Kakati, the fact that the public does not believe that COVID-19 is as alarming as it is, temulina kyemujja kukola. You lost point A.
Subsequently, n'abantu enkunga nezijja kubeerayo bulungi.
Kakati nze kyenva nkugamba ti a man like me who reasons, who knows how peasants conduct themselves, do one thing. Continue informing the public that COVID is still dangerous as before. Continue. A vomiting kid tebamumma byakulya. She vomits,
you give her.
You give. Gusigala ng'oyogera. Abategeera banaategeera. 2, make it clear, abundantly clear. Whoever contracts COVID-19 must treat himself.
Government is again kuyamba.
Fortunately, even the isolation centers are discredited. People don't want their prisoners, people at home. Muhababira musente. Allow the rallies. If you don't allow the rallies will force themselves. Anti nkubuulira kati nabagamba tirale ya Museveni emu kati ekyokulonkinga manifesto okwewandisa okukola ki bwe ziraba biliyoni 10 nga zagenze.
Ndazira zikoze eki.
Museveni akolenga Moyi yakwata minisita n'amuwa sente enfu. Fake money, as I told you. Yamukwatira musibya motors. Museveni yakube sente ntiwazi wa abantu be. Onora bati bakwatidde mu banka nga bagula mayumba. But yesterday, that incident alone of launching the manifesto of doing what? People are kulamuzingi mayumba. Yes, bafunye a windfall, which means where Museveni uses 10 billion to organize a rally, this money can enable Bobby Wine 10 rallies. Where do you find in politics at a rally where supporters are in tents like NRM? The intention of public gatherings is to tell you the gathering, the scale of the gathering. NRM, they are always in tents. The chief, the Mafiya who provides this, throughout you got bubasi bwa nalweso obutwala bakirolo bebawe 15 ne bajja ku kyalo ne batwewanirako fe tuva ku mukolo gwa Museveni batwadde 15
abadde alina okubeera ekyambogo mu ssaawa nga 5 eziddako mu maaso naye wenjogerera yamaze okutuuka ekyambogo bamukutte yabadde ayagala genda najja nankumbi poliisi nemu sikumwarestinga Amuliyat then bamutwala ekyambogo wetwogerera Amuliyat aleeta kimukalu kikyolaba nga FDC.
Why do you harm a man like Amuliyat? Because you kill the exercise. Abaganda baga nti message gijireyo ti omuggo obefumu ensirino gikubya gundi. Encourage those people because you did it election yourself. You had the option of not organizing elections. You decided to have elections. Don't harass. When you harass peaceful people like Amuliyat, then you lose to Bobby Wine. Kwa bantu baga nedda soyo oyisiwa bujagala vubwe nona ali innocent naye ngafu betubagamba nti Mafiya bano ababbi aba abasajja abajoza abalina obujozi mitwe nti batuuse to exonerate everybody. Mirundi cannot be drunkard. Nedda nasali simubbi bajja kubbawo sente. Omukazi ono omusoga ali mu jenda simubbi bajja kubbawo sente. Buli muntu yenna n'abategeera nti mmwe obujozi bwammwe buli awali sente mugibbawo. Kakati even the thieves, government cannot convict anybody abandi bagamba nti ntuufu kubanga n'atalina mpisa mbi. Amuliyat nze natya Amuliyat found me somewhere and he brought with this card can you buy a new for this card?
Ngachimanyi oliwo 7.
Era nabagamba nebamusekere nebaga no. In marketing, a marketeer is a person who can convince a man in Iceland or in the to buy a refrigerator. Yes, that's a marketeer.
Alaba oli munse ennyogovu ennyo.
Kyotakola tutwala musito gwa mbizi kutwalira musiramu oba omuprovoke ng'akwasa omutwe.
Oba marketing uba buyitiridde. Yes.
When you get a peaceful man in Kamuliyat, you treat him the same way. Kakati you lose to Bobby Wine. People say obujozi bw'abasajja bano. Obujozi bw'abasajja bano bwetaaga kuba mitwe kubera. You need to be a mad man to fit in them. So you lose.
Tu Charlie Fena ne Joseph Tamale Mirundi tukola bwe tukuwa updates ku bimu kwebyo bigenda maaso side wali ye Amriat already ali Chambogo tulinze okulabo baba agenda mu nominate before Chagulanyi
ne sawa za nayogera nimuwako ne kasoda eri kito commission udji nganira nchi weri. Why don't you have a joint lunch for all of these people?
Ba candidates yate bazze kulya
abo babwa public record mumubye mmeka ekiri awabula kyembasasirira abenaale mumbasasirako ekintu kimu nti baba bali ku faamu zaabwe kati bazitona sente ate ne basikayo obalaba balina sente bannannyini nsi katonda beyawa maapu ya Uganda era sente zaabwe bwe zijja ne bakuba balumumba ne babateeka wali ne bakuba bannamayanja bobokka be balina okukwata ku sente abalalambwa.
Weewaawo tujja kubanga tunaatera okubanga tuwunzika programu y'olunaku olwaliro olwakadde aye tubeere nga tuzaako enteekateeka endala nga bwe zitambula. Tamale nomination ziggwa olunaku olwaliro mu kuwunzika munnayuganda asuubire ki mu kalulu ke tugendamu bagenda okubanga
andi kankubuulire a Ugandan like anywhere else very few people don't look into the manifestos. A man like me, I don't read through the manifesto.
You don't?
I don't.
Osinzira ku
kimanyi is a public exercise.
Ino kati bwe batasoma manifesto gwe kuna osinzira ku kyokujajinga
bisimbiyewo. Yes, judging. What does society want?
When you look at the
society wants ababbi bano ababbi bakwatibweko badduke abalina emitwe gibalinga ebbulooka abalowooza nti tujjako puroguramu netugijjako aleme tuwogerako. Abantu baagala service delivery.
Yes.
The ministries that have put let Museveni down, the education ministry bagiyingiramu era nababuulirirawo don't put there the first lady. These are targeted ministries. Ministry of Energy Gitutu, I'd be surprised if Gitutu wins. That one is finished. We call it health is dead. It needs revival.
Yes.
So these ministries, key service ministries. This is what I told you. That a revolutionary like Museveni, what does he do if you had the time? A revolution like Museveni educates his children, free education, immunizes the children, that's where we are many. Museveni we are and what is in Namutta, Etan, were they sent by God? None of the candidates is talking proudly and abundantly about corruption. Terry, did you see Tumukunde talking about corruption? Stinking corruption is a beneficiary. These are his sponsors. So corruption, health, education, finance, economic policies. Era kyovolaba nti mu nsi mwonna bagondi ba David Patrick mwana wasa ono Dos Santos bani bonna basooka kusiba former mafias.
When they get in power,
running a country is the same as like driving a car. Did you see any of the candidates with a paradigm shift? Whatever Tumukunde is saying is a student of Museveni.
Okay.
And he contributed to undermining Museveni.
And now he's standing against.
Maybe when Tumukunde tells me,
you can understand.
Yeah, I can understand. I was a saboteur.
So, yes.
Manifesto the people want any candidate, any successful candidate to tackle corruption. Me, I'm happy. I know. If the president has told the Mafiya gang leaders transform into a think tank, which they have obediently done, and if the president 2 days ago received written apologies from people who would think that could not listen, then he is handling a corruption. What we need to do is to do away, clean, get a mulokole, get a sheikh, get a Catholic priest to clean Uganda's anti-corruption court. It stinks more than corruption itself.
Sobola kugaziwa kusingako wano abadde mukukuna Joseph Tamale Mirundi. Kwagaliza kwa bulungi atakumira